Hi, I'm Pushpa Naurim, and today we are going to understand how externalities leads to market failure. Before we go into the details of externalities and how it led to market failure, first we need to understand what it really means first. So, externalities are defined as an unintended spillover effect of economic activities on third parties. Okay, or one can simply understand it as a benefit or cost falling on people other than those who are involved in the market activity. As such, it can be either positive externality or negative externalities. When we talk about positive externalities, we are talking about all those actions that benefits others without any compensations. So what does this mean? We are going to understand this with the help of some of the examples. Now you will see that provisions of educations can be considered as an example of positive externality. How? Say, when an individual received educations, not only do they benefit directly by acquiring knowledge, but it also benefits society as a whole in several ways. Okay, how? First, by increasing the level of workforce productivity. With educations, individuals are more likely to have higher levels of productivity and contribute more effectively to the economy since they possess valuable skills and knowledge that can be applied in various sectors. And second, with educations, one is more likely to find gainful employment and have improved economic prospect. This reduces the likelihood of people engaging in criminal activities, benefiting both the individual and society by fostering a safer community. And thirdly, a better educated person is more likely to adopt a better and healthier lifestyle choices, have better access to healthcare information, etc. This way, they not only improve the individual health but also lower the healthcare cost for the society as a whole. And fourthly, what happens is that with educations, people develop critical thinking, analytical skills, and a broader understanding of societal issues, and educated citizens are more likely to actively participate in civic life, engage in informed decision making, and contribute positively to the democratic process. Again, immunizations and vaccinations programs adopted by government can also be considered as a good example of positive externalities. First, it will help to prevent the spread of the infectious disease, and second, it plays a crucial role in achieving herd immunity. Say, when a significant portion of the population is immunized against a particular disease, it creates a proactive shield or barrier that limits the transmissions of the disease. Okay, and thirdly, such programs contribute to lower the healthcare cost at the society level. And fourthly, immunizations positively impact productivity and economic stability. How? You see that when individuals are protected from preventable diseases, they experience fewer absence from work due to illness. Because of such reasons, the productivity and economic benefit of the society as a whole also increases. Now we have negative externalities. So what does this mean? It refers to all those actions that impose cost on others without compensations. Earlier, when we discussed positive externalities, it was some sort of benefits on others, or you can say it on third parties without compensations. But when we talk about negative externalities, it comes with a certain sense of impositions of cost on third party without any compensations for certain economic activities. Okay, we will understand this again with the help of some examples. We can take the example of pollutions. You see, when industrial activities that release pollutants into the air or water, that eventually led to result in negative externalities in the form of environmental damage and health hazard. And again, in urban area, the use of private vehicle contribute to traffic congestions, which somehow causes delays, increase fuel consumptions, and decrease in efficiency of transportation networks. Okay. Noise pollutions can also be an example of negative externality, like activities such as constructions, transportations, etc. It somehow generates noise pollutions that can disrupt the well-being and quality of life for individuals living nearby. Fourthly, deforestation leads to negative externalities in terms of loss of biodiversity, reduced carbon sequestrations, and disrupted ecosystem. So up till now, we have a brief understanding about how positive externalities and negative externalities have directly or indirectly impacted our day-to-day lives. Now, we are going to understand how externalities led to market failure. Before doing this, we need to understand certain concepts, because these concepts are going to frequently come in the following discussions. So it's better to have a brief understanding about this concept first. We are not going to deal with the details of these definitions, but just that we are going to have a brief understanding about this definition, so that it will be helpful for the following discussions. For instance, when one say that the market failure, then it simply means that there is an efficiency in terms of distributions of goods and services in the free market. Okay, and social cost, this is the cost that includes both private costs and external costs. Then arises what this private cost means. It is the financial cost of productions or consumptions that is incurred to the individual or to the producer concerned. Okay, and what is external cost? These are the costs that is incurred to the third parties of certain economic actions. Likewise, when you say that social benefits, it refers to the benefits of economic activity to the society as a whole. And it comprises of both private benefits and external benefits. Now, what is private benefits? It refers to the benefit that is incurred to the producers or the consumer for certain economic activities. Then what is external benefit? External benefits refer to the benefits received by the third parties because of certain economic activities. Having discussed with certain important concepts, now we are in a position of understanding how externalities led to market failure. As we have earlier mentioned, that externalities can be negative as well as positive. But for this discussion sake, we are going to discuss the negative externalities first and how it led to market failure. We are going to do that with the help of this diagram, where you will see that along the x-axis is represent the quantity of electricity that is produced in a plant, and y-axis represent the price of the electricity in the market, and S is a supply curve which represent the cost of the supplier, where SF represent the full cost, which include not only the cost of productions but also the cost of barrier to the populations. From these illustrations, you see that as power output increases, the external cost per unit also increases, because the difference between the two supply curves increases the output. This implies that low level of pollutions do less damage per unit. So you see that despite externality, an efficient level of productions can still be defined, and it is given by Q asterisk, not Q naught. This is because at Q naught, the willingness of buyer to pay for the marginal unit supply is E naught, and the private cost is also E naught. But from the societal standpoint, there is the pollutions or health cost of AE naught associated with that unit of productions. Okay, so therefore the full cost will exceed the buyer's valuations. Accordingly, if the last unit of output produced is cut, society gain by the amount of AE naught, which is been shown with the help of a bracket in this diagram. You will see that AE naught is the last unit of output produced. If cut, the society will gain by that amount. Okay, now applying the same logic to each unit of output, between Q naught and Q asterisk, society can increase its well-being by the dollar amount that is equal to the area of E asterisk AE naught as a result of reducing production. So the highlighted portion in this diagram basically represent the societal gain if the productions take place between Q asterisk and Q naught. Now let's imagine this. What will happen if the output is reduced further from Q asterisk? If this ever happens, then consumer will not be able to purchase the good as it would exceed the full cost of its productions. Again, let us suppose that if the government decreed that instead of producing Q asterisk, no pollutions would be tolerated at all. In that scenario, society will have to forego the possibility of earning the total real surplus that is equal to the area of UE asterisk K. UE asterisk K, that is represented by the green highlighted portion in this diagram. And economists do not advocate such zero pollutions policy. Rather, we advocate a policy that permit tolerable pollutions level. Okay, so in this example, you see that the total cost of the tolerable pollutions equal to the area between the private and full supply functions, that is represented by KE asterisk VR, okay, which is again highlighted by the pink portions in this diagram. So now the question arises how the government policy can influence the market to produce the amount Q asterisk rather than Q naught. Well, this can be done by imposing production quotas for each firm or a corrective tax that can be imposed on a good whose production causes the externalities. So that's it. So in this video we have discussed about what is externalities, what are the types of externalities, and how negative externalities lead to market failure. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for stopping by.